I'm Josh.
And I'm Jenna.
And welcome to the Castle House.
There has been a lot happening here over the past few weeks, from the daily chaos of the kids living in the shed to the planning and development of the Castle House. And here we are thinking we signed up to the quiet life.
So to catch everyone up, we're dealing with 2 permits here. So when we purchased this property, the old heritage house had no roof on it, and that's because it blew off in a storm. So the previous owner had a current permit to reinstate the roof and the veranda. Now that's our priority, is to help save the old house and stop it from getting weathered and falling over. So we've had to reinstate a chimney and reinstate the roof and the veranda to get it to a lock-up stage to protect the structural integrity and all the heritage features and try and savour it as much as possible.
So we're really excited to get the work started on the roof and the veranda, as I'm sure you were too. However, council have decided that our permit was lapsed, which it technically wasn't, and they wanted us to reapply for a building permit.
So basically we're at the stage now where it should have been locked up and protected, and now we're at the stage where the roof isn't even on and the trusses have been sitting there. The second permit is the permit that we've applied for to do a small extension on the back of the heritage home. So we're just hoping that we don't run into any more trouble with Indigo Shire. While we're waiting on approval for the extension of the Castle House, we're shifting our attention to the landscaping. The landscape is why we bought this place. It's amazing. It's got the most incredible views out the back, the camels, the fruit trees, the space. It's really something that we want to nail and put all our attention into.
Excitingly, we had Phil Withers, who's a landscape architect and horticulturalist, come on site to get a lay of the land. Phil's going to produce a master concept for us to work towards, because we're super eager to get into things like veggie gardens and chicken coops, but we don't want to start digging up the land without a master plan. So we really can't wait to see what he comes up with.
I'm Philip Withers, I'm a landscape architect, and we're looking to work with Josh and Jenna to work with this beautiful landscape. I think 3 acres of this plot is going to be used so well for their family to be able to wander out from this wonderful castle house, entertain and the like, and have such an expansive area, but also to immerse themselves in nature with different entertaining aspects, and then look at all this beautiful foliage and productive planting, to be able to take some of that and harness it and create wonderful productive areas that the children can grow up and immerse themselves in is going to be such a wonderful thing. It's going to be really exciting to watch, but that magical feeling coming up into their home and then out to the shed that I know they have some grand plans for, and a beautiful native sort of bushland that we can start to set out into the hills. It's a pretty exciting project, looking forward to being a part of it.
Freddie girl, what would you like for your garden? Houses?
And beaches and places to go.
Okay. Yep, that's good. Do you want flowers?
Yeah.
What colour flowers?
Rainbow.
Rainbow flowers.
One of the best things about Rutherglen is the people, and we're lucky enough to have awesome neighbours, Mel and Damien, who are 2nd generation winemakers, and they own Cofields Winery. I was over at Damo's house next door the other night, and we got talking about wine and vineyards, and I told him how we wanted to reinstate the vineyard back here at Townview, so bring it back to its original use. Damo is so passionate about wine. Obviously he's a 2nd generation winemaker, so he was super keen to help us out and choose the varieties and use all his contacts and knowledge to help us make it happen. Back to this vineyard that we were talking about, Damo.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah, so obviously Townview used to be a vineyard back in the day, but I know nothing about it, but I'd like to bring it back to the property, and I think you've got plans anyway to do some on yours as well.
Yeah, so I've been eyeing off planting on that block for about 10 years, and I'm just really keen to see how the soil, it's a really magic site, and there's a lot of rocky soil, and there's some mudstone in there and a lot of quartz in there, and I just think that that's going to give us a lot of unique characteristics to the to the reds that we want to plant there.
Oh, nice. We both want to get this vineyard going.
Yep.
But
So-
how do we do it?
First of all, I reckon we want to get a consultant in to help us just plan the whole setup of it. So cover off irrigation and equipment. Then it'll be to choose the variety and the scion wood and the rootstocks and all of that sort of stuff. Then it's site preparation. So deep ripping, any adjustments that we might need to adjust for the chemistry of the soil. So it might need some lime or something like that to help change the pH.
We're super excited to have Damien and Mel on board to help us with this vineyard, but it's going to take time. It can take 3 years for the seedlings to grow. We also have to plant in the right time and work in with the climate. So it's going to be a lot of patience on our behalf, but it's going to be well worth it in the end.
We've sent the new revised plans, including the vineyard, to Phil Withers, and we really can't wait to see how he brings the whole property together.
Hi Phil, how you going?
Hey mate.
Yeah, really good, really good. Good to see you guys. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Really good.
We're pretty excited about today.
Yeah, we've been holding off on everything obviously until we get your guidance.
We absolutely loved the plan Phil presented us. It was exactly what we were after. The landscaping concept was broken into 4 parts: the vineyard at the front and back of the property, a productive garden, a fairy garden at the entrance for Fred, and an oasis where we can relax and entertain. At the front of the property, Phil's planned for a tree-lined driveway with a small opening to allow you to look over the vineyard. As you drive up the hill, you arrive at the new entrance. And this is where you'll also find Fred's fairy garden. And on the opposite side, you'll find the area that we call the oasis. This is where you'll see the pool and some beautiful entertaining spaces. Between the new addition and the shed is where we'll have our productive garden. Phil's incorporated the existing fruit trees and included new veggie gardens. And to the back of the property, we have our southern vineyard and a beautiful central walkway down the middle with a proposed large oak tree. We're blown away by the concept, and although it's going to take a really long time to complete, we're excited to dig in.
So I've just received an email from Indigo Shire Council, and they've called me into their office in Yakandana to talk about our planning permit. It's obviously not a good thing because no one meets in person these days, but I'm having a meeting with 3 town planners about some development overlay, which sounds like it can get very technical, so hopefully it doesn't drag out too long. So we're at a real stalemate with council. I've just come back from the meeting and they've basically said, because we're doing this tiny extension on the back of the old house, it's triggered a development plan overlay, and we have to curb and channel and bitumen this whole entire road that we're on. So basically, because we're doing a small extension on 3.5 acres, they want us to pay for all their infrastructure on the road. So can't get the planning permit until the road's done. So that's sort of where we're at. So awesome news. We've just received the building permit from the council, which means we can reinstate the old roof and the veranda, which is awesome because we can get it to lock up. We can protect the old structure to stop it from getting any further damage. And it means that the old girl on the hill is getting its hat back. So it's so nice to have some progress.
So it has been about 2 weeks since our council meeting, and we've been waiting on their lawyers, and I've been contacting them every day to find out if we've had any word. And I just got off the phone to somebody from council, and we had a long, in-depth conversation about how ridiculous this development overlay really is, and the fact that they want us to subdivide even though we don't want to subdivide, and want us to pay for the road. and ultimately their lawyers agree with us, and ultimately means that they're going to approve our plans. So I'm shocked. Honestly, I'm shocked. I guess we just started thinking worst case scenario and thinking that we're going to have to live in the shed for the rest of our lives, and what are we going to do with this house? And we've had all of those conversations. But, you know, sometimes it's just meant to be. So we're really excited that council have not only allowed us to start with our roof, but we're also going to advertising for our extension. So bring it on. So although there's been huge delays and we hoped that the roof would be on by now, we're excited to see progress. We're excited to see the trusses go up, the roof go on, and to bring this baby back to life. Wish us luck.